Hello, and welcome to the Reselling Report for today, Friday, April 3rd, 2020. I'm your host, Ann Eckhart, and every weekday morning I upload the Reselling Report here to YouTube to update you on the day's retail and e-commerce news, including the latest from eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and Poshmark. If you haven't done so already, I hope you will subscribe. And now let's get on with today's show. Well, we have come to the end of the third week of the coronavirus outbreak here in America, and 93% of Americans are now under stay-at-home orders, lockdown, shelter-in-place, whatever your city or state may be calling it. Here in Iowa, we're still not under an official order. Most things have been closed down, but restaurants are still open for delivery and takeout. Of course, essential stores are open. Basically, if a store sells any kind of grocery, health and beauty, the hardware stores are still open, but clothing stores, hair salons, those kinds of things are closed. But of course, that's not stopping people from going out and about and window shopping at Walmart. So I hope that we get those orders soon from our governor. She's holding out along with 22 other states, I believe. So, but it's day by day. Like I always say on every show, we're all in this together. If you can stay home, stay home. That's the best way to protect yourself as well as others. And hopefully this will all come to an end soon, although we are under the social distancing guidelines through the end of April now, and there is already talk that it will go longer than that. So they are now kind of hinting that maybe we should be wearing masks out in public because the virus can be transmitted just by talking or breathing, basically getting those droplets of saliva and I don't like to talk about that. But anyway, you know what I mean. So now they are saying that masks might not be a bad idea when we were all told not to wear a mask. Now, most of us know that eBay, Amazon, Etsy have supposedly pulled and not allowed people to list medical grade masks and gloves, hand sanitizer, whatnot on their site, although things still get through. However, the fabric mask phenomenon, they're out there. I'm on Etsy's page right now as I film this looking at masks, and somebody has created some lovely Burberry knockoff masks here. That's the first listing I see for $4.94. There's some people creating them with licensed cartoon patterns. So there's lots of fabric masks that people are making over on Etsy. And then there are some listed on eBay. Of course, eBay has more of the large Chinese sellers, and there are plenty of masks on here. So let me know, are you wearing a mask now? I've decided that when I go out, I'm going to wear a mask. I do have a little box of masks that I bought that I was originally going to use when I went to our Goodwill outlets. The bins have opened up in my area a while back, and they're awful. Our bins are awful. There's no heat, no air, no ventilation. They use cardboard boxes and wood pallets for the inventory, so it is a respiratory nightmare. So I'd gotten masks to wear there, and then I never went back because it turned winter and there's no heat. So anyway, I have a small box of masks, and I've decided I'm going to wear them. But they're saying anything, even a scarf, a bandana. So yeah, let me know if you are now wearing a mask when you go out in public. Before I jump into today's news about the reselling platforms, I do want to talk a little bit about the economic stimulus package and what that means for individuals specifically waiting to get the direct payments that they are sending out to the American people. So according to an article on CNN, that is titled, "When Will You Get Your Stimulus Cash and How?" It says the U.S. government is preparing to send out direct payments to help individuals amid the coronavirus pandemic, but those who need the money most may be waiting the longest to see it. The first payments are expected to go out within 3 weeks to those for whom the Internal Revenue Service already has direct deposit information on file. Now, this is if you file your taxes and they already have your account to deposit. If you're getting a refund, those are the people who are going to get the checks first. Again, it is $1,200 for any American making up to $75,000 and $500 for each child. If you make more than $75,000 up to $99,000, you will get a smaller amount. So everybody who makes less than $99,000 or more will be getting something, as well as children if they are in a household that meets those income guidelines. However, if you're not getting the direct deposits already from the IRS, it's unclear how long it will take to get the money. It could take weeks or even months to send out paper checks. Trump officials told lawmakers it could take up to 20 weeks for all these stimulus payments to be distributed. Previous stimulus payments in 2001 and 2008 have been delivered by both deposit and checks in the mail, but mobile payment services like Venmo want to play a role this time. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, that's a hard name to say, said on Sunday that there will be a web-based app for those whose information is not on file to register their payment details. The IRS will use your 2019 tax return if you've already filed it, or your 2018 return to calculate the amount for your payment. The payments would not be subject to tax, and those who owe back taxes will still get the payments. Now, for those who haven't filed a return for either 2019 or 2018, the IRS urges you to do so quickly. Even those who don't normally need to file a tax return may have to in order to receive their payment. However, Social Security recipients will automatically receive stimulus pay. So if you're Social Security and you haven't filed tax returns, because usually, you don't have to, don't worry, you will get the stimulus money even if you do not have a tax return to file. It does say it is unclear in either guidance whether Social Security recipients who don't normally need to file taxes would have to in order to receive the money, but those beneficiaries will automatically receive the money, and the IRS will use the information that the Social Security Administration has on file. So those who normally receive their Social Security benefits directly in their bank accounts will receive the stimulus money in the same way. If you receive Social Security with a check in the mail, you will get it that way. It will just take longer to get it. Now, will others get checks in the mail? How things will work, it's a little cloudy for those who have not authorized a direct deposit from the IRS either on their 2018 or 2019 return. The IRS expects to start issuing paper checks the week of May 4. And the paper checks will be issued at a rate of about $5 million per week. So, if you're in the system, it's going to come sooner. If you're not, it's going to take a lot longer. They are working on a web-based portal that will allow people to log on and enter their information. Now, of course, if you're talking about, people who are elderly, anybody who is economically disadvantaged, who doesn't have access to computer or internet, anybody who has those kind of barriers is going to have an issue getting any kind of web-based portal. I would assume that local organizations would maybe reach out to help those people to get them registered. Low-income individuals who don't have internet at home, hopefully communities reach out and help those people. But as usual, there are going to be people who fall through the cracks. So I am in the IRS system. I get my refunds directly into my account. And so we will see when I get my check. I will definitely let you know when my money appears magically in my account. I'll definitely update you here on the show. We've also been talking on the show about the Sba loans that are now available for those who are self-employed and sole proprietors. So according to an article on entrepreneur.com that is entitled How to Obtain a CBA Coronavirus PPP Loan and Have It Forgiven, this article says the number one pressure on small business owners right now is payroll. Whether you're a sole proprietor, one-person show, which is most of us, or a company with 500 employees, you've certainly felt the pressure. Maybe you've already stopped paying yourself, have laid off workers, or cut hours. Well, you can thank your federal government for the best aid program recently offered for small businesses, the Paycheck Protection Program Loan, aka the Coronavirus Stimulus Loan, or PPP loan. The PPP loan, that's just funny to say. In this age of nobody can find toilet paper, we got the PPP loan. The PPP loan, I'm just going to say that because it's funny, was signed into law on March 27th. On March 31st, the SBA issued its guidance and sample application for the loan to be used by banks. Here's a summary of the details you need to know. Who qualifies? A small business with fewer than 500 employees that was in business on or before February 15th, 2020. This can be an S Corp, C Corp, LLC, sole proprietorship, or independent contractor. It also includes certain nonprofits, tribal groups, and veteran groups. When obtaining the PPP loan, you need to certify that your business has been economically affected or that economic uncertainty make the loan necessary. How much can I get? Up to $10 million. I'll take it. But the amount each business gets is based on its payroll cost. The amount you qualify for is based on 2.5 times your average monthly payroll cost. Your average monthly payroll is calculated based on your prior 12 months of payroll cost. You take that average monthly payroll number and multiply it by 2.5. For example, if your monthly payroll is $20,000, you would qualify for a $50,000 PPP loan. What's included in monthly payroll costs? It includes salaries, wages, commission, payment of vacation, sick, parental, medical, family leave, retirement contributions, group health coverage premiums, and state and local taxes assessed on payroll. It doesn't include federal taxes, however. It also doesn't include payroll costs for those making more than $100,000. Their first $100,000 is considered, but anything in excess is not considered for determining average monthly payroll costs. What can I use this money for? First and foremost, payroll for you and your employees, but you can also use the money for rent, mortgage obligations, utilities, and other debt obligations you may have. What is the interest rate? 0.5%. It's nearly an interest-free loan. When do I have to pay it back? The loan term specified by the Treasury guidance is 2 years. Loan payments are deferred for the 6 months. There is no prepayment penalty though, so you can repay or have the loan forgiven earlier. How do I get this loan forgiveness? This is a critical question. The loan forgiveness provision is the best part. You are eligible for loan forgiveness for the amounts you spend over the next 8 weeks after receiving the loan on certain qualifying expenses. The qualifying expenses of the business over this 8-week period include payroll costs, rent, interest on mortgage debt, and utilities. If the number of full-time employees is reduced over this time period, or if your payroll costs reduce 25% or more, then the amount of the loan eligible forgiveness will be reduced. The bank who granted the loan is who will determine the loan forgiveness amount based on the criteria above. The business will request forgiveness of the loan with evidence to the bank, and the bank will have 60 days to approve or deny the forgiveness. So this is where it gets into, the confusion. With this loan, a lot of banks are saying, we're not ready for this to roll out. We don't quite know what to do. So now it's important to note that this PPP loan is different from the SBA economic injury disaster loans. Now, I applied for this one a few days ago and talked about that on the show. This article says, this is another good loan option. It is up to $2 million and is the loan typically used for national disasters that has been approved for businesses affected by the coronavirus pandemic. If you have low payroll or need funds in excess of the amounts you qualify for under PPP, consider the EIDL loans, as they have lower rates, longer repayment terms, and can be used for more purposes than the PPP loans. However, they do not offer any form of loan forgiveness, but they do include a quick $10,000 grant to be affected businesses that does not need to be repaid. So there again, what? It doesn't make any sense. This is where all of the confusion comes in. Are these loans or are these grants? So the economic disaster loan up to $2 million is a loan. However, a $10,000 grant is in there that does not need to be repaid. So this article does have a scenario. Let's go through it. So let's run a quick scenario for the facts above for a PPP loan. Let's say your total payroll cost over the 12-month period is $240,000. As a result, your monthly average payroll is $20,000. Multiply $20,000 by 2.5 and get the maximum loan of $50,000. Let's further assume that over the 8-week period after you receive the loan that you use $40,000 for payroll, $9,000 for rent, $4,000 for utilities. You would have total qualifying expenses for forgiveness of $53,000. Since you have qualifying expenses in excess of the loan amount, you would be eligible for forgiveness of the entire loan. Now again, that's for the PPP loan, basically if you have payroll and you're using the loan for payroll, rent, utilities, not for things like inventory, postage, office supplies. The article concludes, so what should you do now? Jonathan Morris, president and CEO of Titan Bank, an SBA preferred lending partner based in Texas, recommends that it is important that you apply early on. There are 30 million small businesses in the U.S. and $350 billion allocated to the program. We expect funds may run out before everyone can receive a loan. I'd suggest only applying to FDIC-insured banks for the PPP loans. Many non-banks are taking applications, but in almost all cases, they are simply trying to broker this information to banks in return for a fee. It goes on to talk about the PPP loan more. Now, I know that's not what most of us are thinking about. We were thinking more along the lines of this $10,000 economic injury disaster loan grant. So yeah, I did apply several days ago. I will not be applying for the PPP loan. I don't have payroll, and while I do have some expenses with my business being in my house, they wouldn't approve me. I don't need that. So I will keep you updated if I hear anything more about the $10,000 forgivable grant. I'm not holding my breath, but yeah, I did do that a few days ago, so I'm still waiting to hear. If I get $10,000 magically applied in my account, you will be the first to know. So turning now to the actual reselling platforms, eBay made a very exciting announcement for people who aren't already selling on eBay. eBay has set up an up and running page on their site. Your online shop is here and free with little asterisks. And this page says, get your business up and running. No selling fees for new businesses through June 30th and everything you need to make your eBay store successful. So this is an effort for eBay to reach out to new sellers, get businesses online with them. So if you're already on eBay, this is not for you. If you are somebody who's been thinking about eBay, wondering about eBay, this is a great time for you to try eBay because it's going to be free for you for a while. So this page says, get your business up and running. For 25 years, small businesses have helped power eBay. Now, more than ever, we're here to do our part for the community and give shoppers a way to show their support without leaving home. We want to ensure that today's businesses are still here tomorrow, which is why eBay is investing up to $100 million in small business. Where's my 100? Can I have like $50 from eBay? Here's our commitment to all businesses who join the eBay seller community through this offer. A free basic eBay store for 3 months, no selling fees through June 30th, up to 500 orders, powerful selling tools and insights, and access to eBay's 180 million buyers. So basically, if you're new to eBay, you can get a free basic eBay store, which is $10 a month, I believe. Am I right about that? Maybe not. And no selling fees through June 30th. And then it just has a little button there. If you want to learn more, activate it. How to activate your offers section, and then some more links. And then smiling eBay sellers who just love eBay. You can read about them. Let's get down here to the terms and conditions. This offer is only available to new sellers who register as a business account between April 1st and June 30th, 2020. The offer is not transferable. To participate in the promotion, newly registered business accounts need to pass eBay validation. This offer is not available to existing sellers with business or consumer accounts created prior to April 1st, 2020. Eligible sellers must register a new business account, RSVP for the store subscription promotion, and subscribe to the appropriate store. Eligible sellers who register and complete all those steps will pay no subscription fee for the first 3 months of the subscription start date and pay no final value fees for the first 500 items that were listed during the promotion period that sell. And let's see. So your store subscription would begin on the day you sign up and last for 90 days. You have 30 days to sign up for this if you want it. The final value fee starts when you sign up for the store subscription, and you get the promotional subscription rate once you've completed the sign up. And yeah, basic store is, I was wrong. A basic store is $21.95 a month. I thought it was like $9. No. So $21.95 a month. So you'd be getting $66 value with your store if you sign up for this. So there'd be the $66 store fee would be waived, and then you would have the listings on top of that. and no final value fees. So yeah, if you are new to eBay and you've been wanting to try, I know a lot with eBay is people don't want to pay for listings. Well, here's your chance. If you're listing on Poshmark and Etsy and you want to start cross-posting, you have 3 months here that you can do it on eBay for free. As resellers, I know we've all been worried about the state of e-commerce. So I found an article over on the Digital Commerce 360 website that is titled U.S. E-commerce sales rise 25% since the beginning of May. This article says the coronavirus spurs online grocery sales to increase 100% since the start of March, plus buy online, pick up in-store orders have increased 62% year over year, according to new data from Adobe Analytics. Online sales in the U.S. have increased 25% on average for daily sales March 13th through 15th, compared with the average daily sales from March 1st to 11th. The growth is largely due to a boost in online grocery sales, which have increased 100%. However, not only are online sales growing in groceries and pickup orders, but also in other categories. The reason why online sales are up is clear. The coronavirus pandemic has many U.S. consumers at home and shopping at home. U.S. consumers are turning to e-commerce more during the COVID-19 outbreak due to the fact that social distancing measures and shelter-in-place orders have made online shopping more convenient, or in some cases, the only way to get the goods they need. While consumers had been shifting their purchasing more to online from stores over the past years, the pandemic has accelerated that shift. Adobe Analytics did not provide comparable year-over-year online sales, but for the first quarter of 2019, online sales increased 11.9% year-over-year. The elevated levels of online shopping in the U.S. will likely continue as long as shelter-in-place orders remain in effect. Besides grocery, Adobe Analytics also found order spikes in the following product categories on March 11th, compared with average daily sales in January. 807% increase in sales for virus protection products such as hand sanitizer, gloves, masks, and antibacterial sprays, which we all know most of us can't sell unless you're going to make homemade masks. 231% increase in toilet paper sales, 217% increase in over-the-counter drugs such as cold and flu medication and pain relievers, and 87% increase in non-perishable food. The article also cites a spike of 55% for home fitness equipment with gyms and fitness centers closed. However, it does go on to say that not all non-essential categories have had an increase in online sales. Average daily sales for apparel have decreased 13% from March 12th to 25th, compared with average daily sales of March 1st through March 10th. Now, at that, they're looking at the traditional large store retailers, not the secondhand, but you can see that if the big retailers are down 13% in what is normally a busy time for clothes, yeah, we all know what's happening in secondhand clothes. This article does go on to say that shoppers may have decreased their spending because of economic concerns, and 52% of consumers say they've cut spending because of concerns over the economy and the stock market. And this article does finish out by saying that some states have larger online sales than others. New York, California, Ohio, Oregon, and Washington have increased 20% or more for average daily sales. Those were the states with the largest outbreaks. So once again, what you sell, where you sell it. If you're in clothing, it's tough right now. Now's the time to pivot. Get into games, puzzles, health and beauty. There's a lot of opportunity out there if you're trying to hold fast and steady to close, especially when you might not be able to source in the near future. I don't know. There's essential clothes people need. Underwear is much more essential than a party dress. So you just have to think outside the box. You can still stay in clothing and apparel, but think of what people are shopping for now, especially if they aren't able to get out and shop in store for another month or two. Turning to Etsy now, according to an article on MarketWatch.com, Etsy touts sales liquidity among coronavirus wreckage. Etsy said Thursday that its first quarter consolidated gross merchandise sales hit $1.4 billion, up 32% year on year. That is in line with expectations of analysts polled by FactSet. In what the online marketplace dubbed a fireside chat with management, Etsy said it is at a high-quality capital on its balance sheet and is a very strong financial position to weather the slowdown brought on by the coronavirus pandemic. As of December 31st, the company had more than $8 million in cash and short-term investments. None of its debt is due before 2023, and the company has a credit line of about $200 million currently untapped. Shares of Etsy seesawed between gains and losses in the extended session after ending the regular session down 1.8. So Etsy as a whole, as a site, seems to be in good financial order. Are you selling on Etsy? If so, leave me a comment below and let me know how your sales have been and what you sell. What do you sell and how your sales have been over the past few weeks? And that is a wrap on today's show. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to check out the links below the video, including the show notes where I will link everything that I talked about on today's show. Thank you guys so much for listening. I will talk to you again on Monday. Have a great day and a great weekend. Bye.